class, welcome again in your English Kaksha. In the previous video, we started our chapter The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, and in the part 1, we discussed half of the story. Today we will do rest of the text and we will see what is given in this story. So let's start it from page number 6. Not until this morning, he said. Are you telling the truth? I said. In the previous video, we discussed when Aram asked Murad from how many mornings he was riding the horse. Then after Murad said, not until this morning. Means from this morning he was not riding this horse. Are you telling the truth? Aram said, are you telling the truth? You are not having this horse for many mornings? Of course not, he said, but if we are found out, that's what you are to say. He said, if anyone will find us with this horse, then you have to say the same thing, that only this morning we are having this horse. Otherwise, we both will be considered as liars. All you know is that we started riding this morning. Okay? All right, I said. Then I showed my consent and I said, all right. He walked the horse quietly to the barn. Barn means a farmhouse of a deserted vineyard which at one time had been the pride of the farmer named Fatwizin. Then after he walked with the horse quietly to a farmhouse that was very alone in the vineyard, and that farmhouse was actually the farmhouse of a farmer named Fatwizin. Now this farmhouse was very isolated because no one was there, and there were some oats and dry alflas in the barn. Only some plants are there like oats and alfla. We began walking home, hiding the horse there in that barn. Then after we returned home. It was not easy, he said, to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first it wanted to run wild, but as I have told you, I have a way with the horse. I can get it to want to do anything I want it to do. Horses understand me. Then after he was actually showing his boast. He was showing that he knew how to deal with the horse because they are having an understanding with him. How do you do it? I said. Then Aram said, how did he did it? How did he do it? Means how did he develop that understanding with the horse? I have an understanding with the horse, he said. Yes, but what sort of an understanding? I said. Again Aram inquired that what kind of understanding he was having with the horses. A simple and honest one, he said. Well, I said, I wish I knew how to reach an understanding like that with the horse. And then he shown his desire that he also wanted to develop such kind of understanding with the horse. You are still a small boy, he said. When you get to be 13, you will know how to do it. Then Murad said that Aram, you are only of 13 years old. When you will be a grown-up boy, then ultimately you will come to know what kind of understanding you can develop with the horses. I went home and ate a healthy or a hearty breakfast. Hearty means healthy breakfast. That afternoon, my uncle Khusro came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. As in the previous video, we came to know about Uncle Khusro, who was a very large, mustache man, and he was having a very pet dialogue. What was that? It is no harm, pay no attention to it, right? In the same way, this boy, Murad, was having one pet dialogue of him. That was, I have a way. We have read it here, I have a way. We will read this in the next text also. So, because he was the successor of the same man, that's why he was having a pet dialogue, okay? Now, he is saying that afternoon my uncle Khusro came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor, sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Once they were having a very good wealth when they were living in their own land. But after some time, they lost their land, and that's why they became a poverty-stricken. And on that day when Khusro came to their house for coffee and cigarette, he was remembering the old country. Country here means the village in which they were living. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byro. Then another visitor came who was a farmer, and his name was John Byro, an assessor who out of loneliness had learned to speak Armenian. He was a visitor, but as he was an alone person, he learned how to speak Armenian. My mother brought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. And then at last, sighing sadly, he said, "My white horse, which was stolen last month, is still gone. I cannot understand it." While having the coffee and the cigarette, he said very sadly that he had lost his horse last month and still it is not identified where it has gone. My uncle Khusro became very irritated and shouted, "It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse?" And at that point, Mr. Khusro, Uncle Khusro, became very irritated and he shouted, "It is no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse?" Means if we have lost a horse, that is not a big deal. That may be all right for you, a city dweller. Then John Barrow said, because you are living in a city and that's why you are saying it's not a big deal. But what good is a Surrey without a horse? Surrey means traveling. Here it is given Surrey. Surrey means traveling. But he said, what of my Surrey? Means what to do with my traveling? If I am not having a horse, how can I do my traveling? Pay no attention to it. My Uncle Khusro roared. Again he said, "Oh, pay no attention to it. I walked 10 miles to get here," John Barrow said. Then John Barrow, as he was grief-stricken, he said, "10 miles I get to here to find out my horse." "You have legs," my Uncle Khusro shouted. But he said, "You are having legs. You are blessed with the legs. Why can't you walk? Why are you finding your horse? That is not a big deal." Okay, now we will see on what is given on the next page. So actually, Mr. Khusro was a very funny character and he was having only one dialogue, that is, "Pay no attention to it." "My left leg pains me," the farmer said. But again John Barrow said his left leg pained him. "Pay no attention to it," my Uncle Khusro roared again. "That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. "I spit on money," my Uncle Khusro said. He got up and stalked out of the house, slamming the screen door. My mother explained. What she explained? "He has a gentle heart," she said. "It is simply that he is homesick and such a large man." The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Murad's house. When Uncle Khusro said he spit on money, means he doesn't care about money because money is nothing. After saying this, he left the house while slamming the screen door. Then after, Aram's mother explained everything, that he is a gentle heart. He has a gentle heart. He is a very soft person, but actually he is a homesick. That's why he is saying these kind of words to you. The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Murad. After listening the conversation, Aram went to Murad's house to tell him all the things. He was sitting under a peach tree trying to repair the hurt wing of a young robin bird which could not fly. He was talking to the bird. "What is it?" he said. "The farmer John Barrow," I said. "He visited our house. He wants his horse. You have had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride." "I will take you a year to learn to ride," my cousin Murad said. Then he told him each and everything and he said, "You cannot return the horse unless I am not learning ride." So then he said, "It will take you a year to learn to ride," my cousin said. "It means we could keep the horse a year," I said. तो उसने कहा कि तुम तो 1 साल तक नहीं सीखोगे तो क्या हम 1 साल तक उस घोड़े को रखेंगे? My cousin Murad leaped to his feet and he said, No, it can't be done." "What?" he roared. "Are you inviting a member of the Gregorian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner." He said, "तुम तो एक Gregorian member को चोरी करने के लिए बोल रहे हो, horse को तो वापस जाना ही होगा." "When?" I said. तो मैंने पूछा कब? "In 6 months at least." उसने कहा कि 6 महीने में. चलो 1 साल नहीं तो 6 महीने तो रख ही सकते हैं. He threw the bird into the air and the bird tried hard, almost fell twice. The bird whose wing he was actually trying to recover or to repair, that bird, robin bird, fly into the air. It fell twice, but at last flew away, high and straight in the sky. Early every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out for the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it. Then he said, for every morning for 2 weeks, me and my cousin, means Aram and Murad, both took the horse out of that barn and they rode it. Every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride, when Aram was having his turn, the horse did the same thing. He threw him and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in time to learn to ride the way my cousin Murad rode, but he was keeping the hope that he would also learn the same ride as his cousin was having. One morning on the way to Fedwizen deserted vineyard, we ran into the farmer John Byro, who was on his way to town. And one fine morning, when they were riding the horse, they ran. We ran into the farmer John Byro's barn, and he was actually going to the town. Let me do the talking, my cousin Murad said. I have a way with farmers. Then Murad said, let him talk to the farmer because he knows how to deal with the farmers. The same pet dialogue he spoke there. Good morning, John Byro, my cousin Murad said to the farmer. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. As they were having the white horse, that's why the farmer John Byro studied the horse, that it was his horse or not. Then he said, good morning, son of my friends. What is the name of your horse? He asked the boys what is the name of their horse. My Heart, my cousin Murad said in Armenian. He said, my Heart is the name of my horse. A lovely name, John Byro said, for a lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago. May I look into his mouth? He said, if you have no objection, then may I look into his mouth to check whether it was my horse or not. Of course, Murad said. The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse. Tooth for tooth, he said. I would swear it is my horse. If I did not know your parents, the fame of your family for the honesty is well known to me. Yet the horse is the twin of my horse. A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. Good day, my young friends. But he said maybe that is the horse that is twin of his own horse, because the Gregorian family was known for its honesty. That's why he was having suspicion, but as they were belonging to that Gregorian family, he said maybe that horse is the twin of his horse. And then he said goodbye to his young friends. To the boys he called young friends. Good day, John Byro, my cousin Murad said. Early the following morning, we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. But early morning, we decided to return the horse to John Byro, and we went to his barn to return the horse to him. The dogs followed us around without making a sound, and when we were going there, some of the dogs were following us without making any sound. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad, I thought they would bark. I asked my cousin Murad that some of the dogs are following us and they would bark upon us. They would at somebody else, he said. I have a way with dogs. Now here again he said he know how to deal with the dogs even. He said they will not bark upon them. My cousin Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and then, well, we went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to our house in his surrey and showed my mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. And that morning, John Byro again came to our home and he had shown the same horse to my mother that was stolen and returned again. I don't know what to think, he said. I don't know what to think, he said. Means he was not knowing what happened to the horse, how it was stolen and how it came back. The horse is stronger than ever. And then he said, it is more stronger than ever, better tempered too. I thank God. Actually, after finding his horse, John Byro was very surprised because he was not getting it how his horse has become stronger than ever and he was good tempered now. He thanked God while explaining each and everything to my mother. But my Uncle Khusro, who was in the parlour, became irritated and shouted, "Quiet, man, quiet! Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." But my Uncle Khusro, who was sitting in the parlour, he became irritated while listening all the things, and then he shouted. What he shouted? Pay no attention to it. So this is from your chapter, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. You can do the textual questions that are given in the back exercise of the book. Thank you and have a nice day.